Hello and welcome to another video here at AV Forums. This time we're taking you through our recommended picture settings for the Hisense H65 NU8700. Now, as always, we should stress these settings are based upon the TV that we actually reviewed. We can't guarantee these settings will apply to your TV. Each TV can be slightly different. However, they are generally fairly general settings, so they should be applicable to most TVs. So let's start by going into the menu system. Now, one quick thing you need to do, go down to System and then go down to HDMI and CEC functions, and you'll see there is HDMI 2.0 format, enhanced format. So make sure you set it to enhanced format. This is for HDMI 1 and HDMI 2, both of which support up to 4K 60p. Once you've done that, we can go into the picture menu, and we're going to show you settings for day, night and game, and also for HDR. So let's start with the cinema night settings. This is the setting you'll use in the evening, at night time, when there's no light in the room or very little light in the room. It's not too bright, therefore it's not too fatiguing for the eyes. So starting with apply picture mode, you can apply it to all sources, set contrast to 40, brightness to 57, color saturation to 53, backlight to 17, and then go into the advanced picture settings. Sharpness set to 0, adaptive contrast, turn that off. Color temperature is warm. Ultra smooth motion, there are a number of different features here you can try. You could try using film with film-based content. We found that it did make it look a little bit too smooth, so we left it off of film-based content. However, for sports, for example, you might want to experiment with clear or standard or smooth, or best of all, maybe custom, where you can actually adjust the judder and blur reduction yourself and find a setting that suits you. So feel free to experiment with ultra smooth motion. And then we'll go back to local dimming. Now there's also local dimming. Again, we actually preferred it with local dimming off. When we turned it on, it did tend to slightly exaggerate the colors. It seemed to affect the color performance. And actually we found the image looked better with local dimming off. So we left it off on this TV. Noise reduction, leave that off. MP noise reduction, you can leave that off. Under expert settings, so color tuner, you didn't need to use that actually because the color tracking was really accurate on this TV. On the white balance, again, very accurate out of the box. All we needed to do was just bring red down by 2 clicks, red gain down by 2 clicks, and that gave us a really accurate grayscale, and as I said, a really accurate color performance as well. And we're using a gamma adjustment of 2.4 for the nighttime setting. So let's go back now, and we'll go to cinema day. Obviously, this one is brighter. It's for using during the day when there's more ambient light in the room. Again, you can apply it to all sources. Contrast is still 40, brightness is 57, color saturation this time is 54, backlight 40, so a much brighter backlight setting. Advanced picture settings, basically the same. We're using sharpness at 0, adaptive contrast off, color temperature warm. Again, feel free to experiment with ultra smooth motion. Local dimming off, noise reduction off, and MPEG noise reduction off. Expert settings, again, no need to use the color tuner. And actually, in the case of the daytime setting, the grayscale was actually really accurate as well. So we didn't even need to use the white balance. So basically just set gamma adjustment to 2.2. And that's it for our daytime setting. And then over to PC games. Obviously, this is the low input lag, which you'll use when you're gaming. And again, applying to all sources. Contrast 40, brightness 50 this time, color saturation 50, backlight 40, and advanced settings very similar to the daytime mode really. Sharpness is 0. You can see that quite a few of them are actually grayed out. You can't use certain things like overscan or motion, ultra smooth motion, because obviously the idea is to minimize the amount of processing to keep the input lag as low as possible. So sharpness is 0, adaptive contrast off, color temperature warm. And then you can use local dimming if you want. It won't make any difference to the input lag. We've got it off here. Noise reduction off, MP noise reduction off, and under expert settings. Again, we found that the color and the grayscale performance were excellent in the game mode, so we didn't need to do anything there, and gamma adjustment at 2.2. So that's our day, night, and game settings. Now we're going to switch the source and send an HDR signal to the TV, and we'll show you some HDR settings as well. Okay, now we're sending an HDR signal, so we go back into the menu system and select picture. As you can see, it's detected an HDR signal and now it's showing HDR night. I've only got one HDR source at the moment, so we're applying it to current source, but obviously if you had more than one HDR source, you could apply it to all sources. Contrast set to 40, brightness set to 50, color saturation set to 50, and backlight set to 100. Under advanced picture settings, if it's an option, overscan off, sharpness 0, adaptive contrast off, color temperature warm. Again, you can experiment with ultra smooth motion if you like, but for film-based content we recommend leaving it off. Local dimming off. You can try using local dimming again, it doesn't make any real difference to the peak brightness, and we preferred leaving it off ourselves. Noise reduction off, ambient noise reduction off. Under expert settings, you didn't need to use the color tuner or the white balance, so that's basically it for our HDR setting for film viewing. And if you're gaming in HDR and you want the low input lag, you can go to HDR Game. Again, we only had one HDR gaming source, so we're using current source, but you may have more, so you can always apply it to all sources. Contrast set to 40, brightness set to 50, color saturation set to 50, backlight 100, and then advanced picture settings, again, overscan off if it's available, sharpness 0, adaptive contrast off, color temperature warm. Certain features aren't available, of course, to keep the input lag as low as possible. Local dimming again, we've set it off, noise reduction off, and ambient noise reduction off. And under expert settings, again, we didn't need to use the color tuner and the white balance for this, so basically those are our settings. That's our settings for the Hisense H65 NU8700 Ultra HD 4K TV. Hopefully you found this video useful, and if you have, then please like and subscribe. And don't forget, you can find more news, reviews, articles and videos like this at avforums.com, Europe's largest home entertainment community. Thank you for watching.